Good morning, students. Now here is your revision video of chapter 2, that is food and health. We have learnt about this chapter previously also, and you know very well actually what this chapter is all about. As this chapter is of two words, that is food and health, so in this chapter we will learn about food and how food is responsible for health. From where we get food, what are the components of food, what kind of food we should eat to remain healthy, and what will be the healthy eating habits or the healthy habits, and then we will discuss about the different type of disease. Okay, so let's see that we get food from plants and animals. Okay, you know that there are two sources of food, that is the plants and the animals. We get food either by the plants or by the animals. Plant food are like fruits, vegetables, cereals, pulses, etc. And animal food means the food items which we get from animals are like milk, meat, egg, etc. Okay, now we will discuss about the components of food. Now what are the components of food? Components of food means what is present in the food or how the food is made up of, so that when we eat that food we get some nutritious things from the food. So food contain certain substances. What is there? Food contain certain substances, and what we call these substances? We call these substances as nutrients. So nutrients are those substances which is present in the food which gives us energy to do any kind of work, as well as it also protects us from disease. Okay, now there are basically 5 main nutrients of the food, or we can say the components of food. First one is carbohydrates, second is fats, third one is proteins, fourth is vitamins, and the last one is minerals. So first of all we will discuss about all these 5 nutrients, and then we will discuss about the water and roughage. Now you know that carbohydrates gives us energy. Along with carbohydrates, fats also gives us energy. That's why carbohydrates and fats are known as energy giving food, because these two food or nutrients gives us energy to do any kind of work. You know the sources of carbohydrates like bread, potato, sugar, wheat, rice. All these are the sources of carbohydrates. And fats, oil, ghee, butter, dry fruits means what are the all those substances which contains oil are the sources of fat. Okay, and whenever we take excess of fat, then a person become healthy means it becomes fat. फैट मीन्स मोटे हो जाते हैं, ठीक है, ओबीस हो जाते हैं, ओबेसिटी हो जाती है, दैट मीन्स मोटे होने लगते हैं. सो वी शुड ऑलवेज टेक केयर दैट वट एवर वी आर ईटिंग इट शुड नॉट कंटेन a huge amount or excessive amount of fat. Now we will move to the third nutrient, that is protein. Proteins are responsible for the body building, and that's why proteins are known as body building food, because these proteins are responsible for the making of new cells and for repairing the cells when a cell get injured. Okay, and it also helps in the growth and development. Okay, and the sources of proteins are milk, paneer, pulses, beans, eggs, etc. Now next is vitamins and minerals. About these two we will learn together. These vitamins and minerals are come under protective food, because these vitamins and minerals protect us from various disease and make us stay healthy. Okay, these vitamins and minerals are present in fruits and vegetables. Okay, so we have learnt, or you have learnt in your earlier classes also, the different types of vitamins and minerals are present in our food, which keeps us healthy and protect us from various disease. Now next we will come to water and roughage. This water and roughage are not nutrients, but they play a very important role as a component of food, or we can say along with food items, this water and roughage is also very important. Okay, so what we have to do, or what is the function, is that first of all let's see what are roughage. Roughage are the undigested part of plant, undigested part of plant food. Okay, whatever plant food like the fruits and the vegetables we are eating, so what in that the undigested part is actually the roughage, or we can say roughage are the dietary fibers. It does not gives us any kind of nutrients, but plays a very important role in getting rid of waste. Means हमारी बॉडी से जितना भी वेस्ट आइटम होता है वो सब कौन निकालता है? These roughage are only responsible for that. Okay, and where these roughage are present? In the raw fruits and vegetables. जब अपन fruits and vegetables को कच्चा खाते हैं ना, in that only these roughage are present. Okay, now water, you know that if you want to eat something and you want to mix something in your body, whenever you chew the food, then also you need water, and in your body also when the food item will get divided into the simpler soluble form, then it needs water. So for the digestion of food properly we need water, so we should drink a good amount of water daily. And then this water is also helpful in releasing out the waste products or the toxins from your body through urine. Okay, so this is all about the components of food. Now we will learn about the balanced diet. So here only I am writing about the balanced diet. Balanced diet is basically that diet which when we take in our food, then it should contain appropriate amount, appropriate means adequate, or we can say बिल्कुल सही amount में, appropriate amount of all the nutrients, that means whatever amount of carbohydrate is necessary for you, it should be there in your diet. Means like we can say these vitamins and minerals are required by your body in a small amount as comparison to the other nutrients. And if you will just take an example of proteins, then proteins should be there in more amount in the diet of you people, because you are in this state of growing. Okay, you are growing nowadays, so you need more and more amount of protein so that you can grow proper. So why we should take the balanced diet? So that we can grow properly. There should be proper development in our body, and you people will remain healthy all the time because of the balanced diet. Okay, now healthy habits. How you can be healthy by following the different habits. So here are 4 main habits which you should follow to remain healthy. First is your diet should be balanced one. You should follow a balanced diet. You should daily do the exercise. There should be correct posture of your body, and you should take proper rest. So about the balanced diet, we have discussed that there there should be proper amount of nutrients present in your diet. Now we can come back to the exercise. Exercise just circulate the blood in your body properly and tones up your muscles, means make your muscles strong. There are certain physical exercises like running, walking, jogging, cycling, aerobics, yoga. All these are very healthy habits and you should do to remain healthy. Then correct posture. So posture is basically the position in which you hold your body when you are sitting, when you are standing or moving. How you are holding your body, whether you are just standing straight or sitting straight or moving in a proper way, or your body is loose. So you should always carry a correct posture, a forward, a straight posture, so that your body will remain healthy. And the last one is rest. That means you should take proper rest or sleep so that your muscles can be relaxed and your body can get the much needed rest. Means whatever amount of rest your body needs, your body should get that rest. Okay. And children should take at least 8 to 10 hours of sleep in a day. Okay students, so all these are the healthy habits. Now we came back to the our next topic, that is disease. So what are disease actually? Disease is an abnormal condition. Abnormal means which is not normal, okay, in which our body does not function properly. डिजीज मीन्स बीमारी. सो व्हाट विल हैपन, उस जब अपन बीमार हो जाते हैं तो क्या होता है, हमारी बॉडी ढंग से फंक्शन नहीं करती है. सो इट इज एन एबनॉर्मल कंडीशन विच इज नॉट नॉर्मल, विच इज नॉट ऑर्डिनरी. ओके, इट इज दैट अनऑर्डिनरी कंडीशन in which our body will not function properly. We feel some tiredness or we are not ready to do anything. So that condition is known as disease. Okay, and these disease can occur because of when we will not follow the healthy habits. Okay, sometimes this disease can be caused by certain types of germs. So basically on the type of that, like whatever how you are following your healthy habits, or if your body get attacked by some germs, then on the basis of that, disease are of two types. First one is non-communicable disease and the second one is communicable disease. So non-communicable means that disease which cannot transfer, which cannot, non means cannot, which cannot transfer from one person to another, or we can say which cannot spread from one person to another. That means no infection will be there in the non-communicable disease. But what happens in the communicable one? It can be transferred or spread from one person to another. That means there is a chances of infection from an unhealthy or a diseased person to a healthy person. Okay, now which type of disease come under communicable disease? So they are basically the non-communicable disease are basically due to lack of certain type of nutrients or vitamins and minerals in your body. And when this type of disease will be there, which is caused due to the deficiency or lack of certain vitamins and minerals, then that type of disease are known as deficiency disease. Deficiency means kami. Okay, so the disease which is caused due to the lack of certain vitamins and minerals in your body, then that type of disease are known as deficiency disease. So here we will learn about some of the different type of deficiency disease and symptoms that we have discussed also in our earlier video. So here I will just remind you all that vitamin A causes the night blindness. When there will be the deficiency of vitamin A, then it will cause night blindness disease. Vitamin B1 causes beriberi. Vitamin C causes scurvy. If there will be the deficiency of the certain vitamins, then the following disease will be there. Deficiency of vitamin D causes rickets. Deficiency of iodine causes goiter, and deficiency of iron causes anemia. And whatever the symptoms or foods you should eat in these deficiency cases, that you can just read it, read your books and your chapters, because it is a revision video. Okay, now the next one is communicable disease, that I have already explained you, which can be transferred from one person to another. So these communicable disease are basically caused because of the attack of germs on a person. Okay, to a person. Fine. So whenever you will come in contact with that deficient with that diseased person, then you might get infection from that person. So there are some disease which are caused because of germs. So germs are of four types, mainly bacteria, virus, protozoa and fungi. These are the germs, or we can say microbes. Okay, so disease caused due to the bacteria are plaque, tuberculosis, typhoid, pneumonia and cholera. Disease caused by the virus are common cold, polio, measles, chickenpox, AIDS, etc. Protozoa causes malaria, amoebic dysentery, kala azar, etc. And the fungi causes skin infections or athlete's foot. Athlete's foot disease is also an infection disease which causes infection or a ringworm on the animal's foot. Okay. Now there are certain we can say that what you have to do now, how communicable disease is spread. As you know that communicable disease can be spread from one person to another. So how these can be possible, this is spreading of communicable disease can be possible, that we will discuss now. Now, how communicable disease is spread. So there are four ways by which the communicable disease can spread from a diseased person to a healthy person, and these are through air. First of all, we will discuss about how these communicable disease can spread from through air. So what happens when when a sick person coughs or sneezes or spits, then what will happen? The germs get released into the air, and that air can be breathed in by a healthy person. And what will happen? That germ can easily be inhaled by the healthy person, and that healthy person can easily get the disease. Okay. So we should always take care that we should cover our nose and mouth with a handkerchief while sneezing or coughing. Okay. Now the next way is through direct contact. Whenever a sick person or his belonging means his handkerchief or towels or utensils or clothes, etc. When all these come in contact with a healthy person, then what will happen? The disease are present in his belongings, so that disease can spread, or the germs can move from the diseased person to the healthy person, and the healthy person can also get disease. Okay. Now through infected food and water. So you know very well that whenever we eat street side food, then on that food and the water some flies and the germs are any time wandering over there, and they can infect the food and water. And when we will eat that food or drink that contaminated water, that infected water, then we also become diseased or sick. Okay, so we should always take care that we should not eat or drink that infected food and water, or the roadside food and water, and always keep the food and water covered. Okay. Now the last one is through insects. So what will happen in that? You know that some of the disease can easily be spread through insects like malaria, dengue, etc. Okay. So what will happen in that case? That malaria is caused by the female Anopheles mosquito. And what happens when this mosquito bites someone which is having malaria, then the germs are sucked up with the blood. That mosquito sucked up the germs with the blood of the diseased person, and when that same mosquito bites a healthy person, then it can inject the germs inside the healthy person, and that healthy person gets suffered from the malaria. Okay, so by this insects can cause the communicable disease. dengue is caused by the bite of Aedes mosquito, and plague is spread by the bite of fleas, and that fleas are carried by the rats. Okay, so these are the carriers of certain type of disease. Now our next topic is prevention of communicable disease. Now it is a saying that prevention is better than cure. कोई चीज़ हो जाए, कोई बीमारी हो जाए, उससे पहले अच्छा है ना कि हम उससे बचा लें, अपने आप को प्रिवेंट कर लें. सो हाउ वी कैन प्रिवेंट? by maintaining the hygiene. So what is hygiene actually? It is a practice that ensure cleanliness and good health. We should always make our surroundings sanitized and hygienic, just like we people are doing right now. Okay, so that we will not be suffered or like we will not get diseased by any of the disease. Okay, now you can follow some steps also to maintain good hygiene, like you can wash your hands regularly. Then you should not allow the water to stand in the ditches or in the vessels or anywhere around your house, because whenever the water get stagnant or just spread over there, then in that water mosquitoes can easily breed. Okay, they can grow. And next is you can use mosquito nets and repellents at night so that mosquitoes cannot enter into your house. Then whenever you eat fruits and vegetables, raw fruits and vegetables, then you should wash them properly, and always cover the food. That food should be covered properly so that any flies or mosquitoes cannot sit on it. Okay, and always try that do not allow the heaps of garbage कचरे के ढेर, वो इकट्ठा नहीं होने चाहिए आपके घर के आसपास. Otherwise there should be the chances of insects or the, we can say, bacteria or that disease can be spread. Okay, dustbin should always be covered properly. Then the last one is we should always drink clean water. Now the last topic is vaccination. So vaccination is a way to prevent communicable disease. Okay, and what happens in the vaccination? Doctors inject an antibody which can fight with the disease and protect us from that disease. So whenever if we will get any germ inside our body, then this vaccination will help us and help our body to acquire immunity against certain disease. Okay, so there are certain vaccines available to prevent certain disease like polio, cholera, diphtheria, hepatitis, tetanus. All these are the disease, and to prevent ourselves from these disease, there are vaccines available. And that's why when there is a newborn baby, we or your mom or dad has just provided the vaccination to them so that their body can acquire the immunity against that disease. So I hope students you have understood this chapter thoroughly. Now revise it properly. Thank you.